you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Paul Margolin and I live in Byron Bay, Australia.
Wonderful. And Paul, what's brought you here today?
Just interested in looking at the sort of trauma release. I've had some arthritic conditions. I've been a flamenco guitarist for 45 years, amongst other things. And I've just noticed that a lot of pain in the joints and whatnot, and I've heard this type of therapy could be very helpful, so I'm here to give it a go.
Wonderful. And have you sought any other treatments or modalities for your condition?
I have. I got a case of psoriatic arthritis. I mean, as a kid I used to have psoriasis, which is like a skin rash, and that turned into a type of arthritis which is associated with psoriasis. And I've had pharmaceutical medicine being treated for that over many years. And when I actually started studying the side effects of some of the medicines that I was being given, I threw them all in the bin and started looking at some alternate remedies. And of course, that's one of the reasons I ended up in Byron Bay. But here I am now, going to give it a go.
Wonderful. And how would you say that the arthritic symptoms and things that you're feeling are affecting your everyday life?
Well, it's not excruciating pain, but sometimes it can be acute, but it's there. And it's like any pain that's there on any level, eventually wears you down on many levels, you know. It prevents me from thinking about going for sort of long walks, which I used to go along hikes. And as I'm getting older, I've noticed that I'm probably not as active as I used to be when I was younger, and because of that, I've noticed that some of the pain's a little bit more acute. So it's probably a good idea to sort of try and do something better now rather than let it get too far down the track.
Absolutely. And would you say that your pain's there constantly, or is it coming and going?
Look, it's not a constant pain that I'm in pain 24 hours a day, but I'll give you an example. I mean, I had a massage yesterday afternoon and everything was fine until the masseur started massaging my two big toe joints and the pain was excruciating. Now, I hadn't felt it at all, but the minute that was touched, and since then, of course, now I'm aware of it, and because if you put your attention to where that pain is, you'll notice it a lot more than you might think. So,
definitely.
Yeah, it's there on some form of daily basis.
Okay, so while you're sitting here with me now, are you experiencing any pain or discomfort or any other negative symptoms?
Not really, only because I actually believe that there's always an answer to every sort of pain, and therapies like kinesiology it's a lot of people don't understand what it is, but one thing I've learned about living in Byron with so many natural therapies up there is that sometimes it's not maybe even one therapy, it's a combination, but they're very powerful. And I've distinctly found that going to the doctor and getting pills and medicines that are totally toxic for your system, all they do is hide the symptoms. So it might kill the pain, but it doesn't help in the repair. And in fact, you know, when I started taking medication, they gave me for the arthritic pain back in 2006. One of the side effects, I started having terrible stomach pain and palpitations in the heart. And of course, I went on the internet and started doing a bit of research. And you know, the medication that every doctor prescribed for me was basically increasing the rate of heart attack by over 50%. Kills your stomach, as most of those inflammatory type medicines do. So the side effects are drastic. And I think, look, I don't want to knock normal medicine, pharmaceutical medicine, because look, there's a place for it, and sometimes it can maybe save your life. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that in some cases I think you need to go in with your eyes open.
Absolutely.
And when you can get a natural remedy, something like what's happening today with the kinesiology, it's very powerful work, and I believe that people should be open-minded and look into it. And I'm sitting in the chair, I'm living proof, that's what I'm doing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So if you had to say how much you know, energy-wise, or how you're feeling great in yourself out of 10, so 0 is you don't feel great at all, absolutely horrible, and 10 is you're feeling really, really good, what number are we at the moment?
I'm not so good. I don't feel so good at the moment. really with my health and whatnot. If you want me to be honest with you, I'll give it a 3.6.
3.6.
How's that?
Very specific.
I'm a very specific.
Detail perfectionist. All right. So, Paul, what if you had to sum up your goal that you'd like to achieve from today's session? What would you say?
Look, I would like someone to put a magic wand over me and heal every health issue that I have. So I'm beaming with the youth of a 25-year-old. Yeah, but coming back to reality, if I can gain some understanding, not only obviously to get rid of some of the pain that's there in the background. As I said, it's not acute, but it's there. To get rid of that would be a major benefit for me. But even to get some information about what's happening, because I actually believe that when you start to understand what happens in your body and you understand how it can be cured or rebalanced, not even cured but rebalanced, because after all, energy is often just the balancing of energy. Then if I can do that, then that alone will give me a positive attitude, and that positive attitude would be enough to probably help me along my way to healing the rest anyway. So,
absolutely.
Look, I've got a positive attitude to the whole thing, and if I can go away with a bit of understanding, and of course, some of the sessions could have a powerful effect on me, then that would be a bonus. That would be great.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
So, Paul, you've just received a balance from Philip. How would you describe that experience today?
It's hard to describe. I definitely feel better. I feel lighter. The tension, I mean, besides other things, I'm a flamenco guitarist, and I had a lot of tension, a lot of pain in the joints of my hands, and noticeably that's sort of just gone.
Wonderful.
So the 2 treatments he gave, so there's definitely just been a shift. And I've got a little bit of education about what I need to take. Obviously magnesium is something I'm deficient in, so I'll take that as a supplement. And typical, it totally resonates with me being dehydrated, just don't drink enough water. I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat, but I keep telling myself and I just never do it. So that's something I'm going to have to look at. But yeah, definitely feel better, feel actually more relaxed, don't feel nervous tension. I just hope I wake up tomorrow and I feel this way too.
That's excellent. How did you feel actually being on the table?
Oh, I was quite relaxed on the table. I mean, Philip's a very sort of personal, relaxed sort of guy. He's got a sense of humour. He feels like a mate. He doesn't feel like a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, he feels like a friend. So it's quite relaxed. I didn't have any issue with it at all.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, when you did your initial video, you said that the pain that you were feeling was a 3.6 out of 10.
Okay.
How are you feeling now?
I don't really have any pain at all. I mean, it's probably a 1 or something now, but I don't actually have any pain. I feel quite relaxed. No, I feel good.
You look good.
I feel like I've just had a long sleep. That's what I feel like. I feel like I've slept all day and I've just woken up and I'm,
rejuvenated.
Rejuvenated. That sort of feeling you get when something's sort of released. I can't put it to words. It's just there.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So, after your experience today, what would you say to others that have a similar condition to you?
Look, after having that arthritic condition for so many years and being tortured by the pharmaceutical doctors and normal doctors with all their toxic medication, and really this toxic, and I won't mention any particular medicines, but I know they're toxic, and there's alternate remedies that can be used in conjunction with them, and some alternative remedies are as powerful and a better option than the pharmaceutical, simply because the natural remedies will remedy the actual issue, the problem, whereas the pharmaceutical medicines that a lot of doctors prescribed, a lot of pharmaceutical companies make billions of dollars out of, really just hides the symptoms and doesn't fix anything. That's why none of us in this world are getting better. We're all just getting sicker. And with the technology we've got, we shouldn't be. So I'm a great believer in natural medicine. My advice would be to keep an open mind. I mean, when you have a treatment and it works for you, it resonates with you, you know it's good for you. When you have some treatment and you walk away, or the next day it feels negative, or it doesn't feel like it's flowing, you've got to sometimes go by your own intuition. I think that we're all doctors within our own rights. We know what our body likes. The trouble is we don't do the right thing by our bodies all the time. The the mind says one thing and the heart says the other. So,
Exactly.
but look, my advice would be to finish off would be basically just to keep an open mind, because a lot of these natural remedies, like what Philip does with the kinesiology and whatnot, it's powerful work. I'm open to it. I believe it helps me. I'll continue to use it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And will you continue to use it for other things that pop up in the
Absolutely.
future, if they ever do?
Absolutely. I believe that, you know, a lot of we all hold a lot of trauma, and a lot of trauma is emotional. You know, you get spanked by your first school teacher when you're a baby or a kid, and believe it or not, that'll have an impact on you when you're 60 years old later in life. You'd be surprised.
Absolutely.
On the learn the patterns that we convince ourselves of what we are and what we're not, and how they stay with us. So I think this sort of works very good for delving deep and uncovering some of these hidden things that are actually driving not only our lives but our health. So I think it's about having an open mind. I don't think it's about saying alternate remedies is the only way to go, kinesiology is the only thing, and don't go to a doctor. I'm certainly not saying that at all. I'm just saying keep an open mind, because there's, I'll say, more than one way to skin a cat. And I think one thing I noticed when I had a crippling arthritis back in 2005, and it was a combination of modalities of healing, kinesiology being one of them, that contributed to helping me. And I got to the stage where I couldn't even do up the fly of my jeans or pick up a coffee cup without any pain, to being on stage at the Opera House playing flamenco guitar in a show. So it just shows you that you know, it can be dramatic. The healing effects dramatic long term.
That's wonderful. That's excellent.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.